Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler and Ollie with you on your Friday morning. Starting off the show, obviously, with I don't really know what to say. Thank you to everyone involved in the rescue operation and the recovery operation. Our hearts and thoughts are with everyone in the Air Tindy family and all the people in the search and rescue teams. It's an awful resolution to the story. Ollie, I mean, you've been with it for over the last 48 hours or so, and it's or actually the last 72 hours or so, and it's been a marathon for you, but also just some highs and lows, I imagine, as well. Can you give us a little insight into that?
I just really wanted to say, I know it's been a tough and a horrible 48 hours for a lot of people, and it's our job to bring you an entertaining morning show, and we're going to try and do that this morning, but we'll do that, in the context at the back of our minds that this is going to be a really awful day for a lot of people. We've heard from some of those people already. I've been in touch with people who've been writing to us since the start, asking for information, worried about distant family relatives, people from across the world who were following, and worried about people involved. We had partners of the search and rescue teams getting in touch with us because they were trying to get to sleep back in Winnipeg and didn't know if their partners were getting on okay, if they'd landed safely, if they were doing okay out in the wilderness. There's a lot of people who had a lot to worry about the past couple of days. Obviously, it's tragic the way it ended, and I think it's fair to say everybody is devastated. And we'll do what we can to be as upbeat as we can, and to try and sort of put a smile on some faces this morning. But we know it's going to be a long day.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Peter Jackson released a World War I doc over Christmas. And basically what he did is he took hundreds of hours of World War I footage that was damaged and black and white, obviously, and restored it to 4K and colorized it, and it's become a huge hit. Originally kind of was only doing free screenings at one or two places, and now it's expanding, I think, to 1,500 screens. Really hoping it comes here. But the reason I bring that up is because he's announced he's also going to be doing a Beatles documentary using 55 hours of unseen footage that was shot in 1969. He's calling it the ultimate fly-on-the-wall experience that Beatles fans have long dreamt about.
Which is interesting because I remember when Let It Be was re-released. I don't know what it was, like 10, 15 years ago. It was called Let It Be Naked.
Ooh.
And they had a bunch of additional unheard, rehearsal stuff and demos from those sessions. And I remember there was like a bonus CD that came with it, and I think it was just called Fly on the Wall.
Oh, nice.
And it was basically just audio recording of them milling around in the studio.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's kind of interesting on paper, like in principle, but like actually sitting down and listening to this, that was John. Paul's yelling at Yoko again.
Somebody just burped.
What's happening now? George is storming out of the studio.
So Fly on the Wall wasn't Yoko Ono's first solo album.
I don't think so, no.
Hey, George. Hey, Paul. There's a fly on the wall over there.
It's still yet to be released for some reason.
I don't know why.
Holding on to that one.
That part of the song.
Thing about the Peter Jackson World War I documentary.
Yeah.
That
they will not grow old, is what it's called.
They shall not grow old.
They shall not grow old.
The thing about that is not only did he restore the footage, it's the way that he did that and the sound.
Yes.
And the way that he restored the footage was really clever because the issue with the old footage, and I don't know how much of an issue this will be with the Beatles stuff, but the issue with very old footage is the frame rate's wrong.
Yes, absolutely. That's why everything looks sped up.
People look like they're moving really fast because the frame rates that were being used to record at the time didn't reflect real-life movement speeds. So you have to do a lot of very complicated computer stuff to get that right, which he has done.
Yes.
Then added the color in. But the amazing part for me was that he then found people to voice the documentary by adding sound to pictures that couldn't have sound originally.
That makes sense.
So he found actors who then would figure out, like, who are we looking at?
Yeah.
What part of England did they probably come from?
What does their nose look? What does their face look like?
So what accent would they probably have had?
Oh
and then
my
they
God.
lip read it.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
So they took they took what they could see from the people's lips,
Yeah.
turned that into dialogue. And if you watch the documentary, you'll see and you'll hear these actors like exchanging lines and talking to each other in like trying to do the best, like most genuine job they can of voicing how they think that person must have sounded in real life. So all of this soundscape has been created as well. And it's that when I was lucky enough to see this. When I watched it, that was what made it. Like the color thing was great.
Yeah.
The frame rate thing was amazing because it made it feel so much more real.
Yeah.
But the sound and hearing the conversations and the very sort of matter-of-fact day-to-day, kind of like us chatting, of people who are clearly standing in some of the most miserable circumstances you can ever imagine. That was what made it real.
Still talking about the weather.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? It wasn't far off, right? There was a real, like, you got the sense of just like, you always see... You see newsreel footage, like the old sped-up black and white stuff, of like people are like nudging each other in the elbows, laughing and joking at the front line.
and it looks like they're talking really fast.
Yeah, and then you see it sort of slowed down and made right and dialogue added. And they're just like the gallows humor, of like we're in a lot of trouble here. We're probably not making out of this, but we're going to have a laugh and a joke as we go on. And it was really, it's an incredibly powerful documentary. If the Beatles one is like 50% as good as They Shall Not Grow Old, then it's going to be a must-watch for anybody.
I mean, all of everything you're just saying makes sense because obviously there wasn't sound in those old movies, but I didn't even think about that. I didn't realize that. That's incredible. But yeah, we've rarely gotten a glimpse of that old footage where it looks natural. Everything looks like an old silent movie, an old Buster Keaton movie or something like that, where everything's really sped up. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see that. And the Beatles one, obviously, that footage is, like you said, not going to have that issue. There's going to be a lot more sound, obviously. But I mean, seeing Ringo's face in 4K is going to be off-putting.
But the sound, his lovely voice takes me back. Now, was he the narrator for things in Canada as he was in England? So, like, he narrates things like Thomas the Tank Engine in the UK.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was the conductor.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. He is the conductor. Right? Yeah.
Right. So he narrated the whole thing as well in the UK. So he, to a generation of kids in the UK, is far better known as like a narrator of cool kids TV shows than he is as a drummer in some band.
He was better at it.
That's right. Yeah. I wonder if they'll fix his timing on the drumming on the soundtrack for the documentary.
Peter Jackson's greatest audio challenge.
Just move it a bit forward. There we go. Well,
different frame rates now. Ringo's just sped up.
That's right. Well, because they did that with some of the albums when they re-released them. They fixed his timing and then they re-released it again and they were like, no, original recording. It's like slightly off.
Cabin Radio's Morning Show Podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Interesting rumor. Okay, so Harley's obviously has gone through a bit of a change. They moved to the old KFC building, the old Lenny Burger building. It looks great on the outside. I haven't even been in the inside yet. Have you been inside?
I have not. No, not yet.
We gotta go by.
Yeah,
gotta go by and check it out. They had their first amateur night on Wednesday. I hear it was a great success. But they've been announcing things. They're going to do ladies' nights and amateur nights and open mics. So they've got
Diner on the way.
It's Twin Pines last month. They're only doing brunches this month, and they're moving full time into there. So big stuff happening for Harley's Hard Rock. And on top of that, this is a rumor. Like this has not been substantiated at all.
Just pulling this right out of left field.
Pulling this right out of my butt. Apparently, they are in talks with CBC to do some episodes, TV show.
Oh,
this is what I'm hearing.
Okay,
this is what I'm hearing. I can't even say where I heard it from. This is just kind of like rumblings, keeping your ear to the ground. That's what I do.
Some water cooler.
That's
talk.
right, water cooler talk. Yeah. So that would be.
We don't even have a water cooler. Where did you hear this?
On the ground.
Oh,
I kept my ear to it.
Oh, there you go.
If you don't keep your ear to the ground, you'll never hear the buffalo coming, Scott.
You'd be surprised what's rumbling under there.
That's right.
You can pick up some great stuff.
Well, I mean, there are chuds living in the sewers. It's all terrible, Scott, if you focus on the pimps and the chuds. So that's very cool. I mean, I have no idea. I'm going to reach out to Sarah maybe she'll be able to give us some insight. But I mean, this is the rumor. That would be very cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah, I mean, like without any further context as to what that's going to look like, or what
I mean, like, yeah,
but
I mean, it was a reality show. I mean, you got tons of interesting characters, right? You've got dancers coming up all the time. You got the regulars in there. I mean, they've been at the business for a very long time. So I mean, like, some really good people working there and some interesting stories to be sure. Yeah,
Well, and now thinking about it, our own Charlotte Moore Jacobs,
That's
of
right.
course, of APTN, also, she did the pitch this
That's right.
YK event.
That's right. Yeah,
and
she
she
was gonna do
pitched
On the
something.
Pole.
Yeah, about the
Ooh,
North
maybe this
Pole.
is all kind of.
maybe
It's maybe it's not. Oh well, that would make
coming
sense.
to
Maybe it's not
fruition.
CBC. Maybe it's APTN.
Maybe.
Oh, with Charmo.
Interesting.
That's what I call her now.
Or maybe we're just getting way ahead of ourselves.
Charmoja.
That's what you call it.
Charlotte Moore James. Charmoja.
Charmo Jack.
Yeah, that's right. Charmo Jack. There you go. That's perfect.
That's not bad.
Charlotte, from now on, you're Charmo Jack. Yeah, that would. Oh my God, I didn't put those two things together until you just said that. That's amazing.
Kind of popped into my head right now. So
I guess we'll have to bug her. Although, I mean, if nothing's kind of set in stone yet, she'll probably be like, I don't know, maybe.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, that would be so cool. I mean, that would kind of following up on that Vice article that came out a few years ago, where it's just like the world's most northern strip club.
Oh, okay.
Is what it was. I
Yeah.
think.
I don't recall the article, but I'll
okay.
take your word for it.
Well, Greg Loftus was on the cover of it. Kamiko.
Oh.
You didn't know Kamiko. That's fine. So I mean, be plenty of interesting characters, and just like talking to the dancers about like coming up here, and like the people that keep coming back. Like I think Lemon Drop is one of their biggest regulars, and she comes up all the time.
Okay.
And she's from East Van, and I've even met her. I haven't been there in a few years. Well, that's not true. I've been there. That's not true. I've been there a few times. But some regular dancers coming up and just talking about like what keeps bringing them back.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
So we'll try to figure out more about that, but a possible
Snoop
TV
around.
show. Yeah, we'll snoop around. Possible TV show coming up with Harley's Hard Rock, possibly APTN, or maybe CBC. No idea. We're just talking story.
Want the meat and potatoes of the morning show with none of the filler? You've got it with the Mornings at the Cabin podcast. That's a strange breakfast, though.
Friday morning. Yeah, we're almost there. This week is almost done. It's blooming cold outside, so we brought the snowboarders inside.
That's right.
And they now get to warm up briefly in here before we kick them back out again. Good morning, Max. Good morning, Molly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Max Rossouw, Molly Milligan from Ragged Riders here in Yellowknife. We got you guys in, like, first of all, because you got a big event coming up, like the weekend after this one, and we're going to talk about that in a second. First of all, like, there's been like a big dump of snow recently. How are you guys doing for snow? Because I feel like we struggled a little bit at the start of the year, but I feel like maybe this week has picked things up a little bit.
Well, it's definitely better than last year. Let's
Yeah.
say that. No, it's amazing. We're getting lots of snow this year. When the temperatures go down a little bit, so we can actually like have some snowfall. It's pretty sweet. So we have tons of features out there. We've been working lots. Every week we have to groom, so that's a pretty good positive. The snow's been amazing this year.
Jesse, imagine grooming every week.
No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I do it once a week, and that's it.
Foreign concept in this studio. So you are also, and I always think this is really cool, like you guys are essentially the home for the snow from the airport, right? Like, is that still a thing? Where they, like, all the excess snow from the airport basically gets dumped on Bristol Pit for the people to snowboard on?
So at the very beginning, yeah. And then now we just have enough snow that we don't need it anymore.
Okay.
Nice.
I think that's super cool. You clear off the runway and then just give it to the snowboarders. That's what I like about living here. Yeah. You guys need this snow? Boom. No, we got enough. They boom. You have it.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So next weekend, Molly, you've got this event coming up, the Deep Freeze Jam, which I did clarify that doesn't involve like putting preserves in a freezer.
No.
Deep Freeze Jam. What happens?
So there are 3 events happening next weekend. One of them is a slalom, which is essentially it's timed racing around gates. And then we have 2 jam sessions. And if you aren't familiar with a jam session, it basically just means you don't just have one. It's usually 1 to 3 specific runs where you're judged on. You have a certain time. So it'll be probably half an hour to 45 minutes. Where you can basically hit the feature, do tricks on this feature as many times as you want, and then you're judged on your best trick. So it's way more relaxed, way more easygoing, really fun vibes. So we have the slalom race, and then a rail jam and a big air jam as well. So
Okay.
it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
This is so there's a category for 5 to 12-year-olds. There's an open category as well. Max, what makes this so exciting? What's getting you excited for this event?
Well, it's our first event of the season, so that's pretty exciting. We called it the Deep Freeze Jam because it's going to be cold.
Yeah, so it's your fault. You basically
Possibly.
That's right.
you brought this upon us. This relentless minus 36 nonsense that we woke back up to this morning. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any thought to giving like a really, really warm jam? Like maybe, I don't know, tomorrow.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
We'll do a bit of snow dancing and everything out the hill, and we'll see if we can get the temperatures changed for you.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons we thought about doing a jam session instead of the like designated runs, is because kids can you're hiking up a rail and you're getting exercise too, and you're staying warm and stuff, instead of like all lining up at the top. That's right. Getting cold, waiting to drop.
So anyone entering this, good news, you're going to stay warm. Bad news, you are burning 9,000 calories in the course of this
I'm not sure
contest.
what you're talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow's minus 44 with the winds. So.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, this is next week.
Yeah,
though,
we
so
still
it's
got
fine.
time.
Yeah, next
Fingers
week.
crossed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but I mean, tomorrow's not going to be any better
Tomorrow I was hoping that, maybe we could just figure something out. But apparently not. Minus 44.
with the wind chill.
Ugh. All right, fine.
Risk of frostbite for anyone who doesn't.
So the event we're talking about, just to be clear, is this is on the 9th, not
right.
tomorrow. So you got a week and a bit before this one. This will be up at Bristol Pit here in Yellowknife. I have been there. I've never been on a snowboard. You been on a snowboard?
I have not been on a snowboard. I'm actually pretty surprised at myself that I've never done that. Not surprised at myself, but I imagine somebody might be surprised that I had not been on a snowboard ever in my life.
Because if anyone were to look at you, they would say,
Snowboarder. Snowboarder. Well, I mean, Ollie...
Oh, he's speechless.
I am speechless. It made me feel so bad about myself. No, I've just, you know what? I haven't strapped on a pair of skis since I was a kid either, because I'm just...
You don't like going downhill?
I don't mind going downhill. That's the best part. My mom used to take me out like cross-country skiing. And I'd be like...
You are giving me so many open goals.
Yes, I know. I love going downhill. It's
Good,
what
because you've been doing
it's
it
what
for
I've been
years.
doing since I was a kid. Oh, God. Anyway, back to me. My mom used to take me cross-country skiing, and I was like, when's the hill? Because we get to the hill and be like, finally. Because it's too much exercise.
It's a good reason. Fair
That's
enough.
right.
I mean, here I am chirping. I'm no better. It's not like I'm any improvement.
Yeah. Let me
at
just...
all.
We'll bring it back to when Chrissy was in earlier this week, because we've been doing the life change, right? And we asked her to compare our two kind of styles. And Ollie's just like a grin and bear it, stiff upper lip Britishman, and she's like, "You're more like an athlete who's trying to get back into it." See, she said athlete.
Oh,
Yeah. She also made it sound like you had some distance you had to travel. But the good
Very
news
much so.
the good news is we should probably get out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will you guys teach us how to snowboard?
Oh, most certainly. Yeah, we have rental boards out there and everything. You don't even.
You're gonna charge us rent to do it.
And then hurdle us down a hill. Yeah. Sounds like fun.
Jeez, Matt. Can you not cut us a deal for 2 hours? All right, fine.
We'll figure something out.
Fine.
Yeah.
We'll pay some rental fees.
Yeah.
Okay.
no, we have the full kit, and we have a full-on rental shack now, which is pretty
Nice.
amazing. You guys
Yeah,
can
yeah,
check that
yeah.
out. Like,
Absolutely. We'll
that place
definitely
is
come
starting
by.
to look legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So we're gonna come out. We'll rent a board, and we'll try and go down. I'm terrified of anything that involves sliding, which includes skating and any sort of sliding sport. So snowboarding, skiing, cross country skiing. My brain has a little switch that goes at the back of my head that says, "Well, you're sliding. This is wrong. You should do something about this." And the technique that my brain has developed to deal with sliding is to stand bolt upright and develop rigor mortis.
Yeah, that'll definitely work with snowboarding.
And I just stand up and then immediately just fall in any given direction.
That's right.
So that has proved a boundary in cross country skiing, because have you seen fainting goats?
Yes.
Like those little
Is that
goats,
you?
like they bounce, they bump,
Well, they go,
and then they fall
stiffen
over.
and then they fall over.
Yeah, they stiffen and fall over every 3-4
Can't
paces.
wait.
That's me.
Can't wait.
So
That's
that
Ollie.
happens in skating.
Yeah.
That happens in cross country skiing. I'm willing to place a fair amount of money that's going to happen in snowboarding. So we will film this.
If it doesn't, I'll push you over.
Yeah, thanks. That's appreciated. We're just gonna. We may cause a small avalanche in Bristol Pit. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll find some time in the
absolutely.
next month or so. We'll come out and
Yeah, let's do it.
we will learn to. I say we'll learn to snowboard. We will appear briefly on snowboards.
Jesse will learn to snowboard. Ollie will attempt to snowboard. Yeah, and we have a long running competition that I am in the lead in by 7 points, I think. Right now.
Oh.
So
It's like 6'2".
It's like 60. That's right. Okay, fine. I'm ahead by 4, and so yeah, we'll definitely get out there and we'll see who is the better boarder.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
You're going to look like a Grom, my friends.
I'm going to carve some power.
There you go. I am going to do an Allie McTwist.
Oh,
Is that a thing? That's
good effort.
That's very good.
My air will be bigger than yours. I
Oh,
don't know.
Yeah.
there we go. Competition.
Muted tail grab.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
We will
There.
get off my tail.
That is a thing.
That's mine.
Mute it now. All right. That's it. That's us being dorks.
Okay, we're done with that now.
That's good.
Yeah, good. So we've established our athletic credentials. We look forward to that. The Deep Freeze Jam is next Saturday, the 9th, at the Bristol Pit Hill. What time roughly does it start? What time people need to be there?
So registration is 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Competition starts at 1 p.m. and it runs till 4. And like Molly said, the competitions is slalom, rail jam, and big air jam. And age categories is Groms, 5 to 12, and open, 13 plus. And then there's a $10 entrance fee.
All right.
And
then-
try to registration is 11:30 to 12:30. You definitely want to try to get there on the early side
Okay.
as opposed to the later side, for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah. And it gives the kids more time to practice the
Yeah.
features and stuff, too, before it starts.
Right on. And how can people get in touch?
You can contact us on Facebook.
Okay.
Just Ragged Riders Snow Sports on Facebook there. That's pretty much our main go-to right now.
All right.
And or just show up at the hill. We'll be out there this weekend.
Nice.
And from Saturday and Sunday from 11:30 to 1 and 1 to 4 if it warms up a bit. But yeah, we'll be out there.
Okay, awesome.
Sounds good.
Max,
Awesome.
Molly, thanks so much for coming in. Guys, head on out there. It is always a ton of fun at those events. Cheers for coming in, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
It's cold in the office right now. I'm freezing. How are you?
I'm getting better. I'm warming
getting
up.
better? I'm not.
The door's been open for a bit. It's getting a little nicer in here.
Atco's moving in next door. It's freezing.
I don't think they had a hand in it.
You never know. They're taking over half the floor. What if they decide that they don't want the heat on as much?
I mean, they've been moving in for, I guess, the last week, and the door has been
It
open
feels
more
like
often.
a year. All right.
Okay, maybe we can blame Atco.
Okay, we'll blame Atco.
We'll just get on bad terms with our new neighbors right away. Just get it out of the way.
Well, I mean, we are going to have to start some sort of prank war at some point. I feel like we're a nutty radio station, and they're a nutty whatever it is Atco does. Right?
they'll probably take the high road.
I hope not. I really don't. I really want us to get along in a prank war type of way.
If they try to borrow sugar from us,
Yes.
ever,
Yeah.
that'll be it.
They have the kitchen.
Oh, they do have a kitchen.
Yeah,
right
they've
in
got
there.
the kitchen.
We'll be borrowing sugar from them.
Ah!
Oh,
Yes.
okay. We love you, Atco.
That's right. Dilo or no Dilo, I'm sure you've noticed that we haven't played in a few weeks. Well, fear not, Ollie and I, tomorrow at 2 o'clock in -50, we'll be outside taking shots for Dilo or no deal winter edition.
Yeah.
You're not even going to be able to tell what the heck's going on. Where's that? Are you upside down? Are you lying in snow? Are you on the moon of Hoth? It's going to be great. So we're going to be out there with Samantha Stewart taking a few shots, and we'll have that contest up. I think.
Nice.
Ollie, starting next week. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Ollie said starting next week. We're going to start it up again. We got a Rasmus Apparel swag to give away for that. We always love doing Dilo or no Dilo, and the response has been great. So, guys, keep listening, keep checking it out.
It was starting to get a little strange seeing the late summer, fall pictures while we've had snow on the ground for, 3-4 months now.
You know
It was
what?
starting to get a little weird.
You know what? Your constant negative attitude is really a drain.
I'll try to tone it down.
You're always so positive. Yeah, so we're going to do that tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be cold. You have to wrap up warm.
Yeah.
And really try to fool you guys this time. I feel like the last couple were too easy. Like, I like having like a half and half. Like, we get like 50 entrants, 25 say Dilo, 25 say no Dilo. But the last one we did, I think we had like 85 entrants, and like 2 of them said the wrong one.
People are just too smart.
That's right.
You can't pull the wool over their
They
eyes.
know their town.
Know their Dilo.
That's exactly right.
And try and hand them garbage. We'll throw it right back at you.
We're like, no Dilo.
You got a big weekend ahead of you.
It's not that big. I am taking tomorrow off, which is it's hard to do in the sales game. But I'm going to take tomorrow
Start
off.
of the month. You got a whole month.
I got a whole month.
Figure things out.
We all start at 0 once again. That's the biggest thing about sales. It's like you have a really good month, and it's super busy. You try to cram in everything. The last week especially is just crazy busy. And they're like, you get like a second to breathe. You're like, oh, good month, everybody. Congratulations. Well done. Good work. Tomorrow come in. You're all at 0.
Sweep the table
Sweep
clean.
the table clean.
Start over.
It's what's great and what's the hard about the sales game.
Yeah.
Because we all start at 0, which is great.
It's about equality.
It's
That's
just
what the
about
sales game
it's about
is
a fresh start. Every month you get a fresh start, a chance to do everything over again. Maybe not make the same mistakes, or possibly make the same mistakes again.
Yeah.
You never know.
It sounds a lot better in words than it does in practice. Doesn't
Well,
it?
yeah. If there was some poetry about it, I guess we could find it about car sales.
You almost made it happen.
Almost.
That sounded like you were going into a
Yeah,
poem
really.
there.
If I just start screaming,
nice.
if I just started doing this, like sales, snap, 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 starting at 0, snap, 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 getting to 20, snap, 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 start at 0 again, snap, snap. All right, that's my slam poetry.
I didn't like that as
I
much.
didn't. No, it's not.
No.
Slam poetry for the most part is not great. Okay, so Deal or No Deal is starting up again next week. We'll be out there. Going to be it's a bit of a weekend. I got something cooking tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about it. I want it to
Why?
be kind of a surprise, but
Come
it does have to do with some sort of film festival.
It's been the morning of rumors so far. Why
That's
not
right.
add to potential rumors?
Rumor has it I've been dating the mayor.
Really?
No.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.